Hello, guys. So I was asked to talk about Yuri. So Yuri's supposed to be a midliner, but no one's actually going to use her there. She's really known for the work she does as center back. She is what I would consider one of the best totems in game, just because all of her skills are totems and they're really good. She can also be used in a formation that most people are not going to advise, but who's really great for Colosseum of Despair is to actually use something like a Balteon, a Yuri, and a high powered striker because Yuri has a lot of passive effect bonuses. So let's get straight to the skills. Well, first, just looking fast at her stats, she is power based, has decent vitality, decent speed, decent technique, but just really high power. That's because she's an attacker, so she has counter attack resistant, increase in attack power, decrease the damage when she has the ball. It's just pretty nice. So, penetration. Increase attack power and critical rate. It's nice. It's nothing epic, but it's still very powerful. It's not really the valuable skill, so it's usually the one you're not going to max out. But since she's not a reflex build, 7-starring her is not a problem. Increase attack power within position by 35%. Pretty nice. But then we get followed by this. Increase max hype 35, pass effect 35. This is above Kiki level. And then if that wasn't enough, increase pass effect again and counter attack resistance. So this is why she's really good in backline. Basically, your goalkeeper is going to pass with someone who's going to try to penetrate, where they're going to have bonus pass effect, counter attack resistance, increase attack power, and a lot of life. So this is really good for a backline that runs on a counter attack ideal, not such a reflexy backline. This is something you're usually going to find in mono and/or teams. It will require a little bit of investing, and you will try to even change some slots to the dark penetration slot on some of the players or run Fontish Tissue Sample. So let's look at her slots. Her slots are actually pretty nice. I don't really think you will need to change them, but again, as always, if there's a build you find cooler, it's up to you. So 1 light, 2 Anthors. Let's go look at what stones that would give. So in the Andor category, there are now 2 stones that would be cool options, because knowing that she does increase critical rate on penetration, she'll usually use it first. I would say one could run a Pterodox Blood, but she could also run Endless Burning Matter, really maxing out on the fact that she's just an OP totem. And in worst case scenario, you could even run Blazing Essence, who's also now pretty nice. So it's basically between those 3 stones in the Andor section, and in the light section, there isn't really anything great you could run with her. If you were forced to run a stone of light, I would say Paradise of Light. It's still pretty decent, if not Metatron's Will, but it's not that great, and that's basically all I would run in the light section. If I had the option to run other elements, I would say Fontish Tissue Sample would actually be really cool and give her a high counter attack resistance and attack power, allowing her to get out of the line. It would, though, require you max out her active, or even maybe a Gladaris could also be interesting. Even Earth Scry is not even that bad either, but I'm just talking about the elements she basically has. So again, she had 2 Andors, 1 light. So of course, we're going to be throwing an Andor Reflex because she's backline. I'm of course going to more advise towards the Andor Uniques. This is going to be more up to your personal taste. I've seen some really powerful ones with Pterodox Blood, in 4-man back, Endless Burning Matter, but it's going to depend really what your team can do. In the light slot, people are usually going to try a run on her, something, if they can, the reflex, if they didn't like the Andor reflex. They're going to run a dribble, because like that, she's going to heal. Some are going to run a crit if they can get her to crit. Some are even going to ride the defense because she gets action bar if she gets shot at. It's really up to you. But some people are even actually going to prefer using a light reflex and using the Andor decreased damage. But recovery is pretty weak. So that's kind of one of the sad things, is that she doesn't have a great value on the 3rd stone slot. So that's usually the one that people will try to change color for. In the prime slot, that's very clear. You just put an Andor Reflex. There's no question there. So let's go back to her. I'm going to look at her from my inventory to look at the chains. She should be right here. I actually started working on her a while back. Eventually, I'll start maxing her out. So, on a chain level, she does have Bora, but that's not currently a meta striker. It can be used very well. I know Nawazu has a really nice build for her, and go check him out if you want to use her. She is usable, but is usually not advised. This is an extremely beginner's level kind of chain. None of these players will be seen mid or end game. This one is also pretty bad. Oh, I'm actually might get to complete that chain later. But she does have the Balteon affection chain. As I was telling you, the Balteon line with something like Balteon Yuri Hero used to be a cancer a really long time ago and can still be used. On a skin level, she does have Space Yuri, who I do find pretty damn cool. Skin-wise, basically, her EE is also really nice. I'm not a fan at all of her Evolve, and her basic was also decent. So that's kind of nice. I do like her skin, so I have no issue there. What team is she going to work with? She's mainly going to be used in Rainbow teams or going to be used in Andor. I'm going to say more Andor because that's where she's really going to excel with a nice ace. But she is currently not considered one of the most favored players. If built correctly, though, she can be a great asset to your backline. I'm really not going to advise her putting her midline. As you can tell, technique is not her strong suit and midline is reflex wars. Especially facing an army of legends, she will get totally destroyed. Early game, you can though use her midline, but that's going to end really fast. I can't actually show you gameplay because again, she's really low and it's basically going to be pointless because what the only thing she's going to do is buffing. Now, the one thing you want to be careful with her is that the amount of subs she has is going to make a huge difference. Since her entire job is buffing your team, the more superbs, the more buffs she's going to be able to give, at least till the last 2 superbs at level 60. So you want to be a little bit careful with that and do not use her ace. So I hope this helps people understand the basics of Yuri. I know I've seen some really nice ones, and if you build her correctly, she is endgame material, but that will require really nice stoning, really good setups, and very few people are going to be able to make her work. So I hope this helps you understand how the Yuri works. If you have any comments, suggestions, or even you want to talk about a build or a video of a more advanced Yuri you're running, please leave a comment, subscribe, or even ask a request for any other player or mechanic you'd like us to talk about. Have a good day, guys.